It is Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025.
This is The Warning.
249 years ago today, the world changed forever. The Lee Resolution was passed in the Continental Congress, and it declared that the United States of America should be independent. It was this day that John Adams thought would be the one that was celebrated in the United States forevermore. He was off by 2 days. It was the 4th, on the day when the Declaration of Independence was signed, that the American people recall and celebrate. And so today, we well and truly enter into the 250th anniversary of the Republic, the United States of America. At the moment, the smoke cleared enough to see the white flags flying over the British lines at Yorktown. The Marquis de Lafayette, the young Frenchman in command of American troops there, a man who would name his son George Washington Lafayette, knew the war had been won. The revolution was over, and he cried out, "Humanity has its victory, liberty has its country." And so the story of America over those 250 years of time is uneven, but we get confused sometimes when we ponder an expanse of time beyond a single human lifetime. We lose how close events that exist outside of our space are to our lifetimes. It's a remarkable fact that the 10th president of the United States, John Tyler, born in 1791, has a living grandson. He's in his 90s, but his grandfather served in the Confederate Congress after being elected 10th president, born while Washington was in his first term. Incredible. And it is incredible to consider the words of a Martin Luther King when he shared his dream. When you look at the images of righteous protest, of moral movements that declared we, the people, means all the people, and that freedom, that liberty is not a franchise for some. We have seen in the world terrible evil manifest itself. There is no evil like the evil that manifests through a declaration by the few that they are superior genetically, racially, intellectually, that they are to be kings and the rest of us are to be serfs. What comes from that is terrible abuses of power. And so let me say something to all of you on the eve of the greatest force for good in world history's 249th birthday. Yesterday, Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, who, by the way, stood in front of cages of desperate human beings in an El Salvadoran concentration camp, opened an American concentration camp, which has been dubbed in a culture that fetishizes cruelty, that promulgates it on right-wing propaganda outlets like Fox News. They've named it Alligator Alcatraz. But that's unfair to Alcatraz, which was a federal penitentiary. And inmates in Alcatraz had either pled guilty or been found guilty in jury trials. There are no jury trials at this American concentration camp. What we see in the comments is the gleam in the eye, the zest for cruelty. Look at the insanity in Stephen Miller's eyes as he talks about the people who will be sent there. They are invaders.
There have been repeated multiple attempts by violent criminal aliens and cartel thugs to escape ICE detention, individuals who present a clear and present danger to public safety. Under President Trump's leadership, we are targeting 8 foreign terrorist organizations, including 6 Mexican drug cartels that threaten the foreign that threaten the foreign policy, the public safety, the national security of the United States. These are dangerous, ruthless organizations. A facility like this ensures the security of the officers who work there and ensures the security of the public, lest there be an attempted jailbreak. And again, we are dealing with the worst of the worst, the most heinous of the most heinous.
They are illegal aliens. They are terrorists. And they are criminals. Well, for Santa Monica Goebbels, one man's gardener may certainly be another's terrorist. But let's be clear about something. We are departing from a most American sensibility that the accusation of being a terrorist does not make you a terrorist in the United States, even when it comes from a man terrorizing people from his lofty position of power and privilege in the White House. In America, we have laws, not concentration camps. Until yesterday, when we saw the grotesque and hideous sight of an American president standing there filled with rage and self-pity, swearing, losing composure and control, fomenting division, stewing rage. Here's his comment on that son of a Biden.
Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way, but he wanted me in here, that son of a bitch.
I have a question. Shouldn't we just kill the invaders? Why all the expense? Maybe someone in the media should ask Stephen Miller about their humanity, if they're less than, above animals, below, equal to. I don't think Stephen Miller would have a problem lining these people up against the wall and giving the order. At all. And I don't think he's alone. I think that that's a singular lesson of these last 10 years as we have journeyed down the river together. So there is a concentration camp open in Florida. It is the American Dachau. It is Trump's first, but it won't be his last. And they are thrilled with it. Ron DeSantis, the Florida Attorney General. And one day, many years from now, when this is a national park attraction, a monument to the evil unleashed in this era, with lessons for our descendants about how it is not to be repeated, with markers about the people who stood up to it, let's remember this. In a country, it is a free society. This is unacceptable. These masked agents are unacceptable. This is not law. This is state thuggery. This is not law and order. This is state terrorism. In the United States of America, there must never be masked, badgeless, secret police with a remit to snatch anyone ever at any time. Never. And yet, here we are. It's happening. We must oppose it. We must march against it if necessary. We must engage in civil disobedience if necessary. But we must oppose it. And we must understand that as we celebrate this July 4th, the cause of America was always about much more than American independence and sovereignty. The cause became about freedom, and that is what must be defended.
I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning.
I invite you to join this community where I promise to be honest, blunt, and direct about what is happening in this country. America is in crisis. Follow and subscribe to this channel and on Substack. Thank you.